1582, MDLXX2, was a common year starting on Monday. Link will display the full calendar in the Julian calendar, and a common year starting on Friday. Link will display full calendar of the proleptic Gregorian calendar. This year saw the beginning of the Gregorian calendar switch, when the papal bull Inter Gravissimas introduced the Gregorian calendar, adopted by Spain, Portugal, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and most of present-day Italy from the start. In these countries, the year continued as normal through Thursday, October 4th. The next day became Friday, October 15th, like a common year starting on Friday. France followed 2 months later, letting Sunday, December 9th, be followed by Monday, December 20th. Other countries continued using the Julian calendar, switching calendars in later years, and the complete conversion to the Gregorian calendar was not entirely done until 1923. Events: January-March. January 2nd, University of Würzburg is refounded. January 15th, Russia cedes its conquered areas in Livonia, northern Latvia and southern Estonia to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. February 10th, Francois, Duke of Anjou, arrives in the Netherlands, where he is personally welcomed by William the Silent. February 24th, Julian, March 6th, Gregorian. Pope Gregory III proclaims the Gregorian calendar to come into effect in October. Under the order, the date on the Julian calendar will be advanced by 10 days in order to synchronize the calendar date back to the equinoxes and solstices, since the gap has been increasing by 1 day every 100 years since the 6th century and is 10 days off schedule. March 9th, Scryer Edward Kelly arrives at John Dee's house in London. They practice angelic magic together, and Dee develops the Enochian language. March, the New Testament of the Douai Bible, the translation into English by Father Gregory Martin from Latin of the New Testament for use in the Roman Catholic Church, is published. Martin had started his work on October 16, 1578. April-June. April 2, 1582, Ancuancu earthquake. Ancuancu, in modern-day La Paz Department, Bolivia, is struck by an earthquake that reportedly buries all of the inhabitants, except for one chief, who reportedly loses the ability to speak. On the place where the village had stood, the Achakala Valley is formed as a result of the earthquake. April 3rd, Battle of Temucuzen. Unable to reverse the collapse of Takeda clan, Takeda Katsuyori and his household commit suicide. April 14, King James VI of Scotland signs a charter creating the Tunis College, which becomes the University of Edinburgh. April 16, Spanish conquistador Hernando de Lerma founds the settlement of Salta, Argentina. April 17th, Siege of Takamatsu. In Japan, Toyotomi Hideyoshi departs from the Himeji Castle in the modern-day Hyogo Prefecture and begins his march westward with 20,000 soldiers to the Bichu province in the modern-day Okayama Prefecture. Along the way, he stops at the Kameyama Castle, where he makes a rendezvous with the Yukita clan and 10,000 additional forces before proceeding toward the Takamatsu Castle. May 17th, the siege of Takamatsu begins as Hideyoshi attacks the forces of Shimizu Muneharu, who has twice as many soldiers. Hideyoshi orders an engineering project to block the Ashimori River and divert its waters to flood Takamatsu Castle. June 8th, Siege of Takamatsu. Heavy rains in the dikes built by Hideyoshi's forces turn the area around Takamatsu Castle into a lake. June 21st, second day of the 6th month, Tensho 10. The Honnoji incident occurs in Kyoto in Japan, as Japanese warlord Oda Nobunaga, on the verge of unifying Japan under his rule, is assassinated following a betrayal by a rebel subject, Akechi Mitsuhide. June 23rd, after learning of the assassination of his commander, Oda Nobunaga, Shimizu Muneharu surrenders Takamatsu Castle to Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and, in return for the pledge that the castle's defenders will be spared, commits the ritual suicide of seppuku. July-September. July 2nd, Battle of Yamazaki. Counterattacking forces led by Toyotomi Hideyoshi decisively defeat Akechi Mitsuhide's smaller army. Akechi is killed while retreating to his domain. July 26th, Battle of Ponta Delgada, War of the Portuguese Succession. Spanish Admiral Santa Cruz decisively defeats a larger mercenary fleet from France, England, supporters of the Portuguese claimant Antonio, Prior of Credo and the Dutch Republic, under Filippo di Piero Strozzi, who was killed, off the Azores, the first engagement between large fleets of galleons, operating at any great distance from the mainland. August 23rd, Raid of Ruthven in Scotland. Presbyterian nobles led by William Ruthven, 1st Earl of Gowrie, kidnapped King James VI of Scotland, the kingdom's 16-year-old ruler, while he is hunting in Perthshire. The Earl of Gowrie imprisons the king at Ruthven Castle as part of a coup d'etat to reform the Scottish government. September 28th, Ruthven and his co-conspirators arrange for John Maxwell, 8th Lord Maxwell, heir to former Regent James Douglas, 4th Earl of Morton, to be installed as Scotland's regent. Douglas had been executed in 1581 for the 1567 murder of Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, husband of Mary, Queen of Scots, and father of King James VI, who is imprisoned at Ruthven's Castle. October-December. October 4th, Julian. October 14th, Gregorian. The Julian calendar is discarded at the end of the day in Italy, Poland, Portugal, and Spain as Pope Gregory XIII implements the Gregorian calendar. In the nations where the calendar is accepted, Thursday, October 4th is followed the next day by Friday, October 15th. October 26th, Julian. November 5th, Gregorian. General Yermak Timofeyevich completes the Russian conquest of Siberia in the Battle of Chuvash Cape as Kuchum Khan abandons Kashlik, the capital of the Khanate of Sibir. The Kashlik fortress will be torn down and a new town, Tobolsk, will be built 11 miles, 18 kilometers, further up the Irtysh River. November 29th. 10 years before he begins writing his first known plays, William Shakespeare, 18 years old, marries pregnant 26-year-old Anne Hathaway in England. December 9th, Julian. December 19, Gregorian. France discards the Julian calendar at the end of the day and adopts the Gregorian calendar at midnight. Sunday, December 9th is followed the next day in France by Monday, December 20. Date unknown. The temple complex of Kumbum is founded in Tibet. In Ming Dynasty, China, Jesuit Matteo Ricci is allowed to enter the country. The earliest reference is made to the publishing of private newspapers in Beijing. The Sultanate of Morocco begins to press southward in search of a greater share of the trans-Saharan trade. The Cagayan battles in the Philippines, the only recorded clashes between European regular soldiers and samurai warriors. Births, January 6th. Alonso de Contreras, Spanish privateer and writer, d. 1641. Jaroslav Borzida of Martinis, Bohemian noble, d. 1649. January 7, Magdalene of Brandenburg, Landgravine consort of Hesse-Darmstadt, 1598-1616, d. 1616. January 26, Giovanni Lanfranco, Italian painter, d. 1647. January 28, John Barclay, Scottish satirist and Latin poet, d. 1621. January 30th, George II, Duke of Pomerania, d. 1617. February 8th, Matthias Berniger, German philologist, d. 1640. February 17, George, Duke of Brunswick-Luneburg, d. 1641. February 22nd, John Ratcliffe, English politician and soldier, d. 1627. March 15th, Daniel Featley, English theologian and controversialist, d. 1645. Deodat Delmont, Flemish painter-architect, d. 1644. March 22nd, John Williams, Welsh clergyman and political advisor to King James Thirst, d. 1650. March 31st, Duchess Sophie of Prussia, Duchess Consort of Courland, 1609-1610, d. 16. April 8th, Bapt Phineas Fletcher, English poet, d. 1650. April 11th, Justice de Hardewine, Dutch Catholic priest and poet, d. 1636. May 1st, Marco da Gagliano, Italian composer of the early Baroque era, d. 1643. May 5th, John Frederick, Duke of Württemberg, 1608-1628, d. 1628. June 26th, Johannes Schultz, German composer, d. 1653. June 28th, William Fiennes, 1st Viscount Say and Selly, English nobleman and politician, d. 1662. July 27th, Sir John Isham, 1st Baronet, English Member of Parliament, d. 1651. August 11th, Sabina Katharina of East Frisia, Countess of Reitberg, 1586-1618, d. 1618. August 17th, John Matthew Rispoli, Major Maltese philosopher of great erudition, d. 1639. August 26th, Humulus of Bisignano, Italian Franciscan friar and saint, d. 1637. August 27th, Maria Amalia of Nassau-Dillenburg, German noble, d. 1635. August 28th, Taichang Emperor of the Ming Dynasty of China, d. 1620. Hans Meinhard von Schoenberg, German military commander, d. 1616. September 25th, Archduchess Eleanor of Austria, d. 1620. September 26th, Eitel Frederick von Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen, German Catholic cardinal, d. 1625. October 2nd, Augustus, Count Palatine of Sulzbach, Count Palatine of Neuburg, 1614-1632, d. 1632. October 17th, Johann Gerhard, Lutheran church leader, d. 1637. October 19th, Dmitry Ivanovich, Russian Tsarevich, 1590. October 21st, John Ernest of Nassau-Siegen, German general, d. 1617. October 22nd, Francesco Piccolomini, Italian Jesuit, d. 1651. November 2nd, Elizabeth Jane Weston, English-Czech poet, d. 1612. November 21st, François Maynard, French poet, d. 1646. November 27, Pierre Dupuy, French historian, d. 1651. November 30, Anselm Casimir Wambold von Umstadt, Archbishop of Mainz, d. 1647. December 10th, William Chappell, Irish bishop, d. 1649. December 16th, Robert Bertie, 1st Earl of Lindsey, English adventurer and soldier, d. 1642. December 23rd, Severo Bonini, Italian composer, 1663, date unknown. Giovanni Francesco Abella, Maltese writer, d. 1655. Giulio Alenio, Italian Jesuit missionary, d. 1649. Gregorio Allegri, Italian composer, 1652. John Bainbridge, English astronomer, d. 1648. Richard Corbett, English poet and bishop, d. 1635. William Juxon, Archbishop of Canterbury, d. 1663. Thomas Molson, Lord Mayor of London, d. 1638. David Teniers the Elder, Flemish painter, d. 1649. Francis Windebank, English politician, d. 1646. Jacomina de Witt, politically influential Dutch woman, d. 1661. Jacob Zadzik, Polish nobleman and diplomat, d. 1642. Probable. Sigismondo d'India, Italian composer, d. 1629. Deaths. January 23, Jean Bauhin, French physician, b. 1511. January 26, Thomas Platter, Swiss humanist scholar, b. 1499. February 18, Sakuma Nobumori, Japanese retainer and samurai, b. 1528. March 14th, Elizabeth of Hesse, Electress Palatine by marriage, 1576 to 1582, b. 1539. March 18th, Juan Jauregi, attempted assassin of William I of Orange, b. 1562. March 22nd, Daniel Brendel von Homburg, Roman Catholic Archbishop, b. 1522. March 29th, Philip de' Medici, Italian noble, Grand Prince of Tuscany, b. 1577. April 3rd, Takeda Katsuyori, Japanese daimyo of Takeda clan, b. 1546. April 16th, Oyamada Nobushige, Japanese samurai, b. 1545. April 21st, Francisco de Toledo, Spanish soldier and politician, b. 1515. May 3rd, Giorgio Mainario, Italian composer, b. 1530. May 5th, Charlotte of Bourbon, Princess Consort of Orange, married to William I of Orange, b. 1547. June 13, Matteo Tafuri, Italian alchemist, b. 1492. June 24th, Oda Nobunaga, Japanese daimyo of the Oda clan, b. 1534, forced suicide. Oda Nobutada, Japanese samurai, oldest son of Nobunaga, b. 1557, forced suicide. Anayama Nobukimi, Japanese military commander, b. 1541. June 23rd, Shimizu Munaharu, Japanese military commander, b. 1537. July 2nd, Akechi Mitsuhi, Japanese samurai and warlord, b. 1528. July 3rd, James Creighton, Scottish scholar, b. 1560. July 7th, Kawajiri Hidetaka, Japanese samurai, b. 1527. July 17th, Jacques Pelletier du Mans, French mathematician, b. 1517. September 23rd, Louis, Duke of Montpensier, b. 1513. September 28th, George Buchanan, Scottish humanist scholar, b. 1506. October 4th, Teresa of Isla, Spanish Carmelite nun, poet and saint, b. 1515. October 21st, Laurent Joubert, French physician, b. 1529. November 21st, Diego, Prince of Asturias, Portuguese prince, b. 1575. December 11th, Fernando Alvarez de Toledo, 3rd Duke of Alba, Spanish general, b. 1507. Date unknown, Wu Cheng'an, Chinese novelist and poet of the Ming dynasty. Hans Hendrik van Peyschen, Flemish architect, b. 1510. Zhang Zhuzhang, Ming dynasty official, b. 1525. Takeda Nobukado, Japanese samurai, 1529. Sen Solintha, Laotian king of Lanzang, b. 1511. References